Botox would help that out.
It's called the November December butt chin. That's post Thanksgiving. Still eating the open faced turkey sandos with a little too much gravy, but that's okay.
The camera adds 15 pounds. You still are probably very svelte.
I got one of those thinning cameras.
Smart move. We got a lot of college football this weekend, but we're not talking about that tonight. We're talking about the NFL. Week 13. Hello and welcome to Week 13 of the NFL season. Last week in Week 12, we saw 49er history from Christian McCaffrey, a 99-yard pick six from Javon Holland, Oregon Duck alum, 200 yards from scrimmage from Kyren Williams, a game-winning QB sneak from Jalen Hurts, and with a field goal that went just a little bit left, Tommy DeVito of the New York Giants is now 2-0 as a starter.
Oh, Tommy. Gosh, the Netflix documentary on Tommy DeVito is going to be amazing. It's getting longer.
Yeah, they're already talking about his chicken parm sub with vodka sauce that he gets in New Jersey before every game.
Oh,
Legend keeps growing.
Subway having just a deal with Tommy. Only in the like New York, New Jersey market though, because if you spanned outside, people are going to know who's that.
Yeah,
but he'd kill it.
He'd kill it. But thank you all for joining us. It's Wednesday night, a day early. Before we usually podcast on Thursday, we're giving to you live Wednesday night. It's just Big Ben and K Winn. It's just the two of us, but we got a great show. We're going to talk about Week 13. We got 10 games we're going to break down. If you're a bettor, if you're a pick'em, if you just want to know what's going on in the NFL, you're going to want to listen to that. We're going to talk about the worst, not the worst, who has it the worst of the NFL fan bases, fantasy football, and it's NFL flex season. I'm K Winn. He's Big Ben. Get your flex on.
NFL flex season.
Yeah, let's flex those shitty games out of here. I'm tired. Bears, Vikings, awful.
Did you watch though?
No.
Not even a little.
I turned it on. It was like 9-3 or something. Turned it right off.
Okay. I'm saying I think they put them there just knowing that you'll watch them anyway. It doesn't matter. Did you watch this was great by Prime, by the way. You turn on Prime, Dolphins and
Jets.
Every 15 seconds, it's like some little ad and an ad and an ad and an ad. Click now, Black Friday. Man, you're right. The NFL, maybe they know they have us. They know Goodell know he can put out a product right now. Tom Brady came out and said this. He's like, the product's horrible. Like, it's just bad. Scoring's down, but we're still watching.
Yeah.
If this was, we've done what? Beach, brewery, or bust? I forget our thing.
Watch beach or brewery.
Okay, when it is 42 degrees permanently in Seattle for the last month, there's nothing to do. Nothing. Every kid is sick. Like, you can't leave your home. You're forced to watch the Bears play the Vikings.
Yeah. Or the Cougs lose to the Huskies.
That was a battle. I was proud. I was one of three Coug fans in the midst of 20 people at a party.
Okay.
I was happy.
Why were you at that party? Unless it was like Marcy Madden throwing it for all our Husky fans.
They had a phenomenal taco bar.
Ooh, I would have gone.
Taco bar, exactly. So, fish, beef, whatever you want. Apple cup. We'll have another one next year. It's going to be different. We can get into Cam Ward if you want to, because that's a whole other topic.
Let's talk NFL football. Where do you want to get started?
I actually want to get started. Let's go. Oh, can we talk fan bases?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm ready.
So fan bases, I thought about this.
Wait, which fan base has it the worst? I butchered it in the intro. We're talking about which NFL fan bases have it the worst.
Has it the worst? Where year in, year out, you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I do not. I bought a jersey 3 years ago. I still have to wear it. Like, it's the player's no longer on the team, but it cost me quite a bit of money, and I'm a season ticket holder. You know what's interesting to me? I think everyone would have said the Browns, just because of the turnover in the quarterback position. they had the jersey that started with Crouch and then, went all the way through Manziel and everyone else that played quarterback there. But I went to a Browns Seahawks game. So Browns were visiting fans, obviously. They were having a blast.
Yeah.
They were happy to score a touchdown. Like, it was just, I think it's also where your expectations are as a fan.
So are you going the Browns? Do they have the worst?
No. You can never say. I'm striking some teams off here. You can never say Florida, any of the Jacksonville, Miami, Tampa Bay. I think it's just too nice down there. So you're just happy to be a fan, go to a game. It's beautiful weather. That's nice. Minnesota's got a huge backing. Gosh, you know who I want to say? More recent is Chargers fans.
Ooh.
I mean, if I'm a Charger fan, it's too easy to just be a Rams fan now. And if you're in San Diego, it's too easy to forget that they, even exist.
Yeah.
That would be one that strikes me big.
I will agree with you on the Chargers because they're the second team in LA. Everyone's a Rams fan. Chargers fans play second fiddle, and they just lose way too many close games. I was thinking about it this week. We've both played sports, not at the highest level like the NFL, but when it comes down to losing close games, it comes down to mentality, or you just don't have the physical grittiness to win the game.
Yeah.
And the Chargers historically haven't had that, and it's been disappointing for all of their fans.
They look good. Like, when you go buy a new jacket or whatever, and you're like, it looks really good on the mannequin, and you take it home and it just doesn't fit right. That's what the Chargers are. Like, they look really good. They're the jacket on the mannequin. Like, they look really good. Then you get them home and it just doesn't fit right. You can't wear it. Like, doesn't go with anything.
And their fans are like window shoppers. You walk by, you see Justin Herbert, the mannequin. You're like, wait, that's my team. That's my guy. Yeah. You pay for the tickets, you buy the jacket, and it's got some holes in it, and it's ripped, and it doesn't fit right.
I mean, what precedes a gang? When we talk about Bolt gang, what's just a Bolt gathering? Like, what? I feel like they're falling down outside of a gang. They're
it's not a bolt of energy.
No. It's been bad for the Bolts as of late.
Yes.
I mean, go back to, since Philip Rivers left.
Yeah. Their heyday was, I'll just talk about LT Drew Brees, Junior Seau, rest in peace. And then when Phil Rivers came on and had that run.
Yeah.
Gates.
Gates. True. Gates is he's a what?
But the Chargers have it bad, but their fans at least have cool unis, like that baby blue, the Bolt. They got some good unis. It could be worse. You could have a team that doesn't win and you have ugly uniforms.
So give me yours. Give me as you ponder about the worst. Who do you think of?
I'm going to take our listeners back to season 2 of Big Ben and K Winn. That's 5 years ago. We had tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities. Basically, your tier 2 city's okay. Your tier 3, it's flyovers. You don't want there. In the NFL, there's levels to it. You have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 NFL franchises. Carolina Panthers is a tier 3 franchise. And I empathize for their fan base. They have 1 win this year. Oh, what does that usually translate into? A top 3 pick? Nope. That pick is in Chicago. Fired their coach this year. Frank Reich fired, what's his name? Matt Rule. No consistency. They don't even look like they're heading in the right direction. I heard Frank Reich wouldn't put in more RPOs for Bryce Young because it didn't fit in his offensive scheme. Did he not watch any tape on Bryce Young at Alabama? Or did the GM not? Panthers, the worst. They have it the worst.
They have it the worst. Okay, they have it the worst. I'll counter with a team that I think there have been, since you talk about the organization, there's been more DUIs within the organization. There has been playoff wins in the last decade, and that's the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh,
you talk to Cardinals fan, and it seems like we've had a few people on.
Have you ever been to Tempe?
Yeah, it's tough to stay out of trouble in Tempe. But that organization, it seems like they just can't get out of their own way. Like they can't string it together. It's like they think they know more than they actually do. And they've been in the NFC West. I don't know. It's a tough conference to compete in. You got the Giants, or excuse me, the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Rams. All those teams have seen sustained success over the course of the past 5-6 years. I would say the Cardinals, just because they never feel like they ever have it together. I think they made the playoffs once in the Kyler Murray era. I would be the most frustrated to be a Cardinals fan, to be honest.
Yeah, their best year was when Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald got to the Super Bowl and they almost beat the Steelers. But other than that, they've kind of been irrelevant. You're right.
Yeah.
Another franchise, I don't think they're as bad as the Cardinals and the Panthers, but I want to talk a little bit about the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-mm.
So they've been to 4 Super Bowls. They've never won. They've always been a bridesmaid. They've never been a bride. Sean McDermott, it's in his 7th year. So, this was the story of the Bills, right? Because he had Tyron Taylor. We need a franchise quarterback. They get one in Josh Allen. We need a downfield threat. They get one in Diggs. We need a defense. They get defensive players. They can't run the ball. They just can't figure it out. I think Josh Allen is a great quarterback. I think it's coming down to the front office and the coaching staff. They're blaming everyone, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. They need to look in the mirror.
It's juju, it's karma or something. They need to stop breaking all those tables and just maybe Bills Mafia needs to turn into Bills patrons or something like that, where it's just be civil. I don't know if that goes into
recycle all the mustard and ketchup instead of spilling it.
Do something to reverse the karma, the juju that's going on. Because I agree with you. It looks like they have everything in place, but similar to this last game, similar to when they lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, similar to this last game where you saw Jalen Hurts. You talked about gritty, just the gritty plays that needed to be made down the stretch. The Eagles made them, the Bills didn't. And that's been the MO. I think the reason I don't think that fan base has it bad, they still have a bunch of fun. They're the only thing going and built in, in Buffalo at any one time. So.
All right. Where do you want to go next?
I want to go to real quick touch on fantasy. We're getting in the playoff stretch here. Either I don't know.
So wait, we're in week 13. Playoffs start in week 15. There's only 2 weeks left. You better clinch that playoff berth.
And you have the
playoff. And sorry for beating you in the no filter league last week.
You had the first most points. I had the second. Nuts. I want to talk about. There's so many different formats, leagues, types. There's got to be just one good one. One, I want to call it perfect one, but I want to go through a couple questions for you.
All right.
You can help me define this. 1 quarterback or 2?
2. I like the super flex option. Just give me the option. It's up to you whether you want to add the quarterback. But now that I know what I'm going to know, I'm adding the quarterback in my super flex. 2 quarterbacks.
2 quarterbacks. Okay. You're starting Tommy DeVito. PPR, non-PPR. Half PPR.
I go PPR.
PPR. Okay. Kicker, no kicker.
No kicker.
Defensive player, no defensive player.
I'm okay with defense. I like the special team scores.
No, defensive player. And do you have a
No. The whole defense and the special teams bundled together. Was it DST?
Yeah, DST. So you got kicker, defense, or are we doing kicker?
Kicker's out. No kickers.
Okay. So defense, PPR, 2 QBs. And how big's your bench?
Short bench. You can only have 4 players.
Okay. And is waiver on order? Meaning who picked up last? Or is it based on bid?
Auction. You get $100.
Auction 100. Okay.
And the reason why I like all that is I love points. We are in a passing league. So give me 2 quarterbacks. Wide receivers have never been this great. Like, give me all the wide receivers. I want the points. I want the 200 to 190 games. I don't want the standard league. I'm in a standard league. Like, the points, it's like 80 to 75. Running backs. You know who doesn't appreciate running backs? NFL owners and fantasy football owners. Get them out of here. Let's go super flex. Wide receivers galore. That's my dream fantasy league.
Super flex, 2 QBs, wide receivers only. Stack it both sides.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out. Okay.
You'll still draft the running backs who receive.
Well, so there's different plays saying different strokes for different folks, but there's also, your touchdown only league. There's your, no PPR. So then running backs are more prevalent, relevant. You have the independent, like the independent defensive player, IDP. So, that guy, TJ Watt, racks up 2 sacks and an interception return for a touchdown. He's got 15 points. He probably win that week.
Imagine if you had Bland from the Cowboys. He's got what, 6?
Exactly. He's got more touchdowns than Travis Kelce. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you hit a shot on that. Like, you discover that guy. Fantasy's getting unruly in my opinion too. Like, narrow it down.
I think you got to narrow down the focus and narrow down the leagues, but I like the high scoring.
Right? Yeah. You'll still play.
Always.
You'd rather see what we're doing on the no filter league than your standard 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 quarterback.
Yeah.
Kicker league.
Yeah. Because I want to reward the owners that know what's going on. Like, in the no filter league, I have like Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, Tyler Lockett. Like, I have a lot of wide receivers and I can fit them into my roster. In some of the other leagues, like, I'm like, I'm going to play Amon-Ra St. Brown, like Devontae Smith or Justin Jefferson, just because, like, I drafted around other people's mistakes. It's hard to get all your players into the game if you have like a limited basic roster.
So that's the other thing. Do you want to reward drafting or do you want to reward in-season maneuvering?
Both. Like, if you have a bigger roster, you reward drafting and in-season removing. If you have a short roster, you reward the guy who just lets the computer draft.
Okay. Well done. All right. That's all I had. That's
all
I want to touch on in fantasy. And I don't know if I'm going to make the playoffs in any of my teams. I'm humbling myself.
How many leagues are you in? 2?
I'm in 3.
Hey, you got 2 weeks left.
Yeah. I give you a percentage and they're sub like 40%. So
who's got a better shot at making the playoffs? The New York Jets at 1% or one of your fantasy football teams?
Jets. If A-Rod comes back, who knows? Better chance there. Jeez.
Is he coming back? He had surgery, 11 weeks ago? How is that even possible?
The team doctors in New York for those New York teams something.
Is it like blood transfusion? Like, I don't even see it's possible.
A-Rod, if there's some bleeding edge, like, he would be on it, right? He'd interject some concoction of hallucinogenic mushrooms. What else could you put together and just shoot it in your ankle and feel okay?
I hope he doesn't get busted for PEDs.
They aren't testing A-Rod. That's the last person they're testing. Here's the cup. Hand it to me. Okay, here you go.
Maybe he's on Magic Mind.
He might be on Magic Mind. That's the answer.
That's the answer.
That's the answer. Take us to Magic Mind.
Oh, no Magic Mind update today. Just, you should try it out if you want.
Okay.
Are we going to talk about NFL Flex? Or you want to get into the games?
Let's do Flex. I want to hear your take on Flex.
So we're in week 13.
Wait.
So now the NFL has the ability to flex out or flex in primetime games. So it's Thursday night, that's Sunday night, and that's Monday night. So if we go through the weekend, like, let's start with this week, week 13. They haven't flexed out Seahawks, Cowboys. I think that's a great game. But Sunday night, you've got Chiefs versus the Packers, and then Monday you've got Bengals versus the Jags.
I know what you want to flex to.
You know what I want to flex to? You got to flex to the Broncos versus the Texans. Hear me out. both teams are 6-5. Both teams, I think, are like 8 and 9 seed in the AFC for the playoffs. Like a win will bump them up. I don't think the Colts are going to make it. That's a must-see game. I would flex out the Chiefs Packers. The Packers are done. The Packers are done.
I had you pegged for. Yeah, I agree with you. The Chiefs are going to roll the pack, in my opinion. But I had you for the Niners Eagles. Like, do you just not want that flex because you're fearful that the Niners might get roughed up by the Eagles?
No. I just feel like the next couple games for the Niners should be flex. So I don't want to flex them this week. I'd flex them next week when they play the Seahawks. That's what I would flex them.
Ooh, okay. I would agree with you if the Seahawks beat the Cowboys. First off, the Thursday night game is another snoozer. I don't know. How are the Steelers 7-4?
I heard this week that the Eagles are the rich man Steelers.
Really?
They both win. It's both ugly, but the Eagles just have a little bit more offense and a little bit more firepower. Like the Steelers are winning like 10-7. The Eagles are winning like in the 30s.
Okay, well then do me this. Let's go to week 14.
Okay.
Who's flexing? You're obviously probably not that happy with the 2 Monday night games.
No. I'm definitely flexing out Titans, Dolphins, and Packers, Giants. Like those are gone.
For what though? You don't.
I'm putting Bills, Chiefs on Monday night.
And Seahawks, Niners. That would be.
No. Oh yeah. I'm flexing both. Yeah. Okay.
I like that. That'd be a wonderful slate.
Yeah.
How do we vote for that? As part of the media, who do we vote? Who do we go take our votes to in terms of flexing?
I'll DM Goodell and he'll get on it. All right, let's talk week 15, last flex. So I like that Thursday. We're West Coast pod, Chargers, Raiders. Let's keep that on.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a lot of TBD games. Well, you know what? I would keep the Ravens Jags because that's going to have some AFC implications. The Monday night game, Chiefs, Patriots, that's out. I would actually move it to, the Bills might be 6-8 at that point. So,
no, I think those.
I could go Steelers, Colts.
Steelers, Colts.
Yeah, both in the playoff hunt.
Oh, it is a flex game.
Yeah,
it is a flex game. So it's already. Wait, you can flex only Broncos, Lions would be kind of fun.
Ooh, I didn't see that one.
Broncos, Lions might be fun too. So we really don't know. Our TV guide that's sent to us on a weekly basis may change, is what you're saying.
It may change. So like when you're planning your weekend plans, plan them at the last minute because the TV schedule is about to change because it's flex season.
Okay, K Winn. I'm surprised I have not been able to tout my 8-2 record back in week 12.
We're still validating it. We've reached out to a couple auditing firms. They're going to go check the clicks in the spreadsheet to make sure.
Either I didn't even take the Bills. I took the Jets, and they were one of my losses. I would have been 9-1.
We got to go back to the history of the spreadsheet, make sure it wasn't updated after the kickoff.
9-1. Should have been, could have been, would have been if I just wasn't contrarian to you. 9-1, and then the Commanders puked against who? I don't know.
Eagles.
I forget who they lost to. No, the Giants.
Oh, that's right. Tommy DeVito, that was his first win.
Okay.
Let me lead us off here because I can't wait for this game. I am so glad that we moved the pod to Wednesday so we can talk about this beatdown on Thursday that's happening in Dallas. Listen, the Seahawks can't convert on third downs, can't run the ball, can't score in the red zone, can't win tomorrow night. Dallas -9, lock of the week. Take that bet. The Seahawks have scored 3 touchdowns over the last 4 weeks. And this is going to be their third straight loss. Niners next week, 4 straight loss. Eagles after that 5th straight loss. What do you have in Seattle besides the Huskies? You better go up and start Instagramming in Leavenworth or wherever that mountainous range is where people go, because the Hawks are done.
Here's the only thing I'll say about this game. If you have Tony Pollard and have been severely disappointed on the output he's had throughout the season, you are going to just bake in the riches this Thursday, because it is going to get ugly. And I want to be, I mean, Dak's looked good.
Yeah.
He's looked good. CD
Oh, here's my question, actually.
Yeah.
This is year 8 for Dak. Do you think this is the best version of him?
I feel like Dak always has these little spurts, these little in-season spurts where like he'll do this and then come playoff time, they're like, all right, Dak's going to, you know.
We're just talking about best regular season version of him. Playoffs, bleh. He's like Tony Romo in the playoffs. He'll drop the punt or the field goal.
Try to run and get blitzed by the Seahawks.
Is that Tony Romo's best highlight from the playoffs in his career?
Could be. No, it's probably him calling a playoff game at this point. He's a phenomenal commentator. What can I say about the Seahawks? That isn't just... Listen, here's what we're going to see, though. Here's some glimpse into next year. Zach Charbonnet.
Oh, Kenneth so we're Walker, done for this year.
Kenneth Walker's doubtful. We're going to see Zach Charbonnet. I wouldn't... It's you should see that. If I could read through the text messages, obviously within my friend, it's just the play calling is atrocious. Which it
Can you add me to that?
Yes, I will. No, I won't. Play calling is atrocious. It's just it's almost like Pete Carroll's like you're, you know, like Pete. It's kind of we're done. The shtick is kind of done. Like you gotta. I don't know if he's lost the locker room or there isn't anyone who has a locker room, to be honest. And even though the perception was that Russ did, Gino definitely doesn't. Like, there's no true leader, and DK is not there yet. He's still got to mature a bit. I don't know if he ever does. The organization's in flux right now. But if I'm them this week, I give Charbonnet every opportunity. I give him 20 carries. Let him keep the Cowboys offense off the field, but you're still going to lose by 21. It's going to be bad. All right, take the Cowboys.
Take the Cowboys. And tell Weezy to put in my money. -9 Cowboys. Put that in.
2. All right.
Chargers at New England.
Chargers have to bounce back. This is like they have to. Mac Jones, zippy, zappy, zoopy. Like it's.
Chargers have to bounce back. Will they bounce back?
And they have to. Like maybe they just leave the coach on the tarmac and they, end up winning by 21. That might be the best thing for them to do, honestly. But they just don't have a second. Like Keenan Allen's been out, like targeted 99% of the time. It seems like by Herbert. There's no second. It's a Mike Williams curse.
Yeah.
But they're going to win. Chargers.
The Patriots have held their last 2 opponents to 10 points. The problem is they've lost those games because they can't score the ball. So I'm reluctantly with you, and I'm taking the Chargers. I think they figure out a way to scheme up a couple nice drives and score because the Patriots can't score. So give me the Chargers here.
Okay.
Do you think Justin Herbert, after the game, when he shakes Bill Belichick's hand, he says, please, please come to LA. Help me out.
I mean, if I'm Bill, I might get on the plane just for a weekend at least after the game. See some sun. Indy at Tennessee. Yeah, this is the NFC South. Gardner Minshew's winning games. Jonathan Taylor's back.
No, he hurt his thumb. He's out now. Out 2 games.
2 games?
A couple games. He can't hold the ball.
You need to see Rodgers'
guy.
Yeah, get his guy. And
listen, Rodgers goes in the back of the bodega. They shut it down. The blinds come down.
Exactly.
And then he gets his stuff, and then he leaves.
Yes. Jonathan Taylor, they're probably not those same bodegas in Indy, to be honest. Will Levis, remember what we were talking about with Salisbury? He's like the backup
Yeah.
quarterback. In the first game, you're amazing. You're on point. You're throwing 4 TDs like he did. From then on out, it's been kind of shaky.
You get the tape.
Derrick Henry is the an unstoppable specimen, is what we're calling him in our league. Who do you have?
I'm going Colts. I like Minshew. I like Josh Downs' rookie teamed with Pittman. You got Zach Moss. I think they can do more on offense. Yeah, the Titans have Henry, but the Colts know that they want to run the ball. They're going to try to make Levis beat them, and I don't think he can. Give me the Colts.
So does that mean Zach Moss is back?
Yeah.
Dang it. Dropped him last week. All right, Detroit at New Orleans. Detroit, the Thanksgiving curse. I don't know what happened.
I thought we were going to reverse it.
I thought we were going to, nope, couldn't do it. New Orleans leads the NFC South, I believe. Which is odd, but Olave's out.
You know how we got rid of the Pac-12? I just hope we can get rid of the NFC South.
Like just
realignment.
No, get 4 new franchises and start a whole new division. Out and do the
I'd even take 4 SEC teams and get rid of the NFC South teams. Give me Bama, Georgia. Give me Texas because they're going there. And then give me LSU. Give me those 4 teams in the NFC South.
I was going to say, let's just get state teams like North Dakota, like call them the Dakotas. And then, you know, give Wyoming and Montana, like join them together and give them a shot. Because the NFC South stinks.
Wait, you're going to take North Dakota State and put them in the NFC South?
No. See, with how bad the NFC South is, let's make a mockery of it even more and take the entire conference or division and take it up to the Montanas, the Wyomings, the South Dakotas, and let them just, I don't know.
Then we're going to have a playoff team that's like, what, 3-14.
That's fine.
All right.
No, that's not. Well, what I'm saying is take the franchises and just port them somewhere else. Maybe they'll do better with a new.
So you're taking the Falcons and you're moving them to North Dakota.
I'm putting them in Laramie. Maybe there's too many distractions in Atlanta. Who do you have in this game?
I'm calling it the Turnover Bowl. Lions, 7 turnovers in the last 2 games, 10 turnovers in the last 4 games. But they're going to turn over a new leaf. They're going to pick up that pass rush. It's been missing on the defensive end. The offensive lines looked a little shaky. Goff's been running for his lives. I think the Lions get right here. Give me the Lions.
I agree with you. Unless.
Unless?
No, there's no unless. The Lions are going to win. Your game of the week, Denver at Houston. I'm kind of excited to watch this game as well, just from the storyline. Like CJ Stroud has Russell Wilson kind of figured it out with Sean Payton. They're both in the mix.
Yeah.
And I mean, Javonte Williams is out, maybe Sam Pershine. It's kind of Singletary's playing well. Tank Dell might be. He won't be your rookie of the year. He might be the offensive player of the year.
CJ Stroud's going to get that.
Well, they'll split it. You can't have one without the other. Without Tank Dell, CJ Stroud might not be your rookie of the year.
He's already got, I think, more touchdowns than Andre Johnson, who was a legend for the Texans.
Tank Dell.
And he might.
Tank Dell first 2 rounds fantasy next year.
Oh, easily.
Who do you got in the game?
So I want to go Texans because I love everything about them. CJ, Tank Dell, Noah Bryant. They looked inexperienced last week. There were some play calls. There's some situations where they couldn't capitalize, and I think that's the experience of the team. I'm going Broncos. They're playing better. Sean Payton, I think he's figured it out. Like, Russ isn't throwing the ball. He's running the ball. He's changing the way they play. He's limiting the offensive touches of the other team. and the defense, ever since they gave up that 70 burger against the Dolphins, they've actually played better. I read somewhere they've had 16 turnovers in the last 4 games.
Wait a second. Say that again. Because you can't play worse after you give up a 70 burger. Would you expect them to get even worse?
I thought they would just continue to slide into like the last place of the AFC West. I thought they couldn't come back. I thought it was going to be such a defeating blow that they couldn't recover.
They've rebounded. They're resilient. They are resilient.
Give me the Broncos.
Okay, you can take the Broncos. I'd like to take the Texans. I'm going to just put that down here.
But here's my question.
What's that?
Would you rather have Russ or Geno Smith as your starting quarterback in Seattle?
God, neither. I'd rather have Cam Ward, the quarterback for the Cougars. Like, he's going for $1 million. Someone's going to give him $1 million. Some college is going to give him $1 million to play next year.
Wait, is he transfer portal?
He is transfer portal. He's got 1 more year. This is college athletics at its best now. Go on the transfer portal.
What would Cam Ward do in the Seahawks offense?
Probably play better than Geno Smith. Like, it's just Geno is not the Geno is who we thought he.
Whoa! You were high on Geno last year.
No. Let me just finish. Geno is who we thought he is. He just put on a different mask last year. Like, he was. You know how, again, I'm going to come back to Salisbury. You know when he said the backup quarterback, he has that first great game. Geno Smith had a great first season.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that was indicative of the play calling or if things have been figured out. This year has just been, and to be honest, I will call this out. The 2 left guards last year, Cross and the other kid was out of Wazoo. I want to say Abrams. Might not be right. Lucas and Cross were phenomenal. Like top 20 both.
That's been the problem. Their offensive line this year.
It's bad. And Kenneth Walker's not this guy that like hits the hole and goes. He waits for the hole to open. It's just been and I hate being the guy. We're 6-5. Most other teams would be like, yes, we're in the playoff mix. You know, Texans are elated.
You're 6-6 after Thursday night.
True.
6-7 against the Niners. 6-8.
Okay. I bet on that one. Atlanta at the New York Jets.
I was at a bar last week watching the Dolphins-Jets game. The Jets defense, this vaunted defense, they can't stop the run. The Dolphins ran for like 160 yards last week. The Bills ran for 130 the week before. So now they're playing the Falcons. I'm calling it the training wheel bowl because Bijan Robinson, Arthur Smith, take those training wheels off. He's going to run wild over the Jets. I got the Jets losing this one. You know those teams that are so bad? Like, you have experience because you've been on a lot of bad teams all your life. But you know what the bad teams, you played against, they get chippy. They want to like get into a little fight, get a little tussle because they know they're going to lose the game. That's what the Jets did like in the second half. Like, they were just trying to pick fights the whole game. They've given up. The offense was built for Rodgers. Rodgers isn't there.
And why are they in the media so gosh darn much? Like, that's all you hear about is the Jets.
Yeah.
Jets this, Jets that. Oh, Zach's.
Just their fan base have it the worst.
I mean, in terms of being like just obliterated by the media, yeah. Why? If I'm the Jets, I don't want to wake up every day and see how crappy we are or how our coach has said that we're behind our quarterback. Like, I don't want to read any of that. Just stop reporting on us.
But that's the New York media. That's never going to go away.
Well, that's move the team to Long Island. Please.
The Montauk Times will cover it.
All right, this is going to be an interesting one. Cleveland at the Rams. I mean, the Cleveland.
Breaking news.
We've
received breaking news. DTR is still in concussion protocol. Joe Flacco has been elevated to QB2. he might get the start if DTR does not come out of concussion protocol. We have a generational QB for the Browns.
Hey man, let's book a flight out. Let's go watch this game just so we can see Joe Flacco and experience the awe that he is. I mean,
does that change your pick if Flacco gets a start?
If Flacco gets the start, the Browns do not lose.
Okay.
It's again, I don't know why I bring Salisbury up like 3 times already, but he's the backup quarterback. They're not going to have any film on him more than a week ago. I don't know what he was doing, shining up his rims in his driveway after a nice car wash, but they're not going to have anything in the way of any film on him.
But they'll have film on him from the Ravens and the Jets.
No,
how different is he going to be?
He's changed.
He's just going to sit in the pocket and throw the ball.
He's upped his testosterone levels and maybe been working on some yoga and Pilates where he can get out of the pocket a little better. You don't know that.
I don't know that.
You don't know what Flacco's been doing. He might have a bodega just like Aaron Rodgers.
He might. So you're taking the Browns?
I'm taking the Browns.
I disagree. I'm taking the Rams. You got K Winn Williams back. He's doing it all. You got Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, got Tutu. Rams offense is too good. The Browns cannot figure it out on offense. Give me the Rams.
Shut Cooper Kupp down. I don't know if you've watched him. I've been watching him. He doesn't look right. Just does not.
Was his knee last year? His ankle this year? Yeah, quick side note. I picked the Rams defense in all 3 of my leagues. So, Aaron Donald, if you're listening to this pod like usual, please get like 4 or 5 sacks, a pick 6, and block a field goal.
A deal. All right. Game of the week.
The rematch. Back in Philly. So, long flight out for the Niners, right? East Coast flight. Lucky for the Niners, they had some easy work on Thanksgiving. The Eagles, on the other hand, had to battle it out, slug it out, came from behind 5th straight week. This is going to be interesting. I think this game means more to the Niners, and the Niners are up more for this game. But who do you like?
This is a George Kittle game to me.
Okay.
I think Goddard's still out for the Eagles. I think this is a George Kittle game. I think they'll neutralize like Ayuk in Debo. And then do their best with the front 7 for the Eagles. We know is really good. I just think getting Kittle kind of RPO, he's going to be big. I see if Kittle goes over 100 yards, Niners win. How about that? If he doesn't, Eagles win.
So Brock will look to get the ball out quickly and efficiently to all his weapons. Ayuk is playing well. Debo and Trent Williams, when they're playing, the Niners are a different team. But the one person no one's talking about is Chase Young. Like another body on the edge. I think he's going to cause havoc on Sunday. That's why I can't wait for this game. I'm going Niners in the rematch here. I don't think the Eagles can come back and win 6 straight games from behind. Like they have just exerted too much.
If they would have won this, if they would have lost to the Bills, the storyline doesn't play out where it's like Eagles win again. I think they're exhausted.
Yeah.
Like they might well run out. Whoever played Temple's quarterback this year, they might run him out and play in lieu of
hurts his knee.
Just to not keep him. But I agree with you. Niners are more. I think this means more to the Niners than it does the Eagles.
All right, moving on. It used to be the State Farm Bowl, but there's no Rodgers there. So now it's I don't know. I guess it's Taylor Swift. Taylor canceled her Brazil tour, flew back to Kansas City to be with Travis Kelce. Anyways, the Chiefs are playing in Lambeau against the Packers. Jordan Love ruined Thanksgiving in Detroit, threw for 300 yards. He looked great. He looked efficient. He found his favorite weapon, Christian Watson. Defense, causing havoc, getting pressure. But let's be serious. This is the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is the Green Bay Packers, and they're going in 2 different directions. And what's his name? Rashid Rice got more snaps, got more usage. had a big game. He might be that wide receiver one. I know Kelsey's tight end, so don't at me. I'm talking about the wide receiver. He might be the person that they need because Tony has been missing in action. Anyways, give me the Chiefs.
This is the thing about the Chiefs wide receivers. Like, I'm trying to think. Give me just a played out, wide out. Steve Smith could come out of the broadcast booth and
Steve Smith is great.
Wide receiver one for the Chiefs. It's bad. Jalen Watson, it's like Jalen Watson got turnbuckled and then got up and caught a touchdown and then kind of approached the other guy in a haphazard, like passive aggressive way and then got a flag, which was comical to watch. But that like summarizes there's no, when you have the probably the league's best quarterback, you'd think, and this is probably what Mahomes does have Kelsey, but just give me a wideout. Like Tony's horrible. He's in his own head. Rice could, but like if you're relying on Watson, and they always rotate.
But how come they can't figure it out? Like you have the best quarterback in the league. You've got Kelsey who's getting a lot of double teams. Why can't they figure out someone who can run a route tree and get open? Or sign? Why don't they sign like Adam Thielen?
Adam Thielen would fit right into that offense. Like your possession receiver, give me 8 yards. Some guy that can run. You know who they would be a great receiver in that offense? Tyler Lockett. Lockett, amazing in that offense. Some guy that can kind of get around, not a huge guy, but can scramble and find. When Mahomes gets out of the pocket, he would be great. Good hands, can work the sideline. He would be wonderful. Actually, Thielen and Lockett on that team with Kelsey.
Yeah, look out.
Game over. Maybe that's a fantasy team next year. I got Chiefs too. All right, Monday night game.
Cincinnati at Jacksonville. Jake Browning, he was a UW grad, right?
Oh, man. Jake Browning was the most boring quarterback, but he set the most records. He was there for so long. One of those guys you're like,
what would his NIL money have been?
He would have been a good advertiser of Ked's shoes. Like, he was so just, I remember as a Cougar fan just being like, this guy is lame. Just lame. But he was good. He was good. And I think that's what they see he almost mirrors Burrow in the way that just he can operate within the offense. But just not nearly as good. And they like him in the organizations because he's been around. He's been around a long time. That said, Jacksonville in Duval. I don't know if he can get that done. Josh Allen's coming out. What do you think?
I think the only Josh Allen who's going to make the playoffs this year plays in Jacksonville. But the Bengals I think they're 4-20 without Burrow. Jacksonville's playing a lot better offensively. I think Trevor Lawrence has like 6 or 7 touchdowns over the last 3 games. And it's Calvin Ridley. Like he's the guy that they acquired. He's the number one option. They're finally starting to move him around, stack formations inside, throwing to him underneath. I think the offense is clicking. Give me touchdown Trevor and the Jags.
Jake Browning. God, boring. Just boring. It's going to be horrendous to watch. I actually will watch that game just to see how he operates and does. But, man, he was a prototypical UW quarterback. Just sit around long enough. Have great athletes around you.
Who would you rather have, him or Montlake Jake? Jake Eason.
No, see, you don't know UW quarterbacks. Montlake Jake was Jake Locker before it was Jake. So
that's true.
He's a Ferndale kid. We were up there last weekend in his old hometown.
Call it Pac-12 right now. Bonus game. Who's winning Friday night? Oregon or UW?
Yes, I'm glad you asked me this. Okay. I have watched
It's in Vegas, right?
It is in Vegas, which is even worse for UW fans. They can't hold their liquor. They'll be passed out before game time. All the lights, the glitter, the glam, I think it will go. Without Roma Duze, they do not win the Apple Cup. Go back and look at the receiving. Rome had 7 receptions for 120 yards and 2 TDs. The next guy, closest guy, had 3 receptions for 40 yards. if I'm Dan Lanning, is it Dan?
Yeah, Dan Lanning,
If
Oregon
I'm
head
Dan
coach.
Lanning, I look at that box score and go, okay, what am I going to do? Stop this guy, and I win the game. I think it's going to come down to
Easier said than done. He's a first-round draft pick. You could say the same thing for Ohio State. Stop Marvin Harrison Jr.
that. Okay, trust me on this. Stop Rome, and you win the game. And I actually went to the first game too. So what I saw was that again, the Huskies, you know the term house money,
Yeah.
where like you see a guy walking around just throwing money somewhere, he keeps hitting. You're like, how is this guy doing this? Then it runs out, and runs out real quick, and then they keep playing that same way, and they end up losing. I don't think Oregon. If I think Oregon has the athletes, and you know it's almost so much tougher to beat a good team twice.
Oregon should have won that first game.
They should have, and it was just decision making. Like basically, Lanning's going to go. I have another chance. I'm not going to screw it up.
I think Oregon's defense is better than Washington's defense, so I don't think they're going to shut down Washington, but they will contain them.
Here's what's going to happen. Very early in the game, very early, there's going to be a blitz to the blind side of Penix, and he's going to get drilled. And soon as when you get drilled like that, I mean, when you say like drilled, like, you know, one of those where like the ball's coming out of the back of your hand, it's not a fumble, but you're getting drilled. And then all of a sudden you throw the ball a little quicker each time. I think that's going to have a big impact in the game. Bo Nix is more mobile than Penix, which I think helps them in that game. More plays, more options. You probably didn't show as much in that first game, or at least you can drop more plays to around Nix than you can Penix, right? I might be wrong. If I am, Rome's going to go for 14 catches and 4 TDs, but I don't see that happening.
I think Oregon's got a better all-around team and a better running game. I'm with you. In what is the last Pac-12 game ever? We both have the Ducks winning.
Quack, quack. Oh, I had a little quacker. Dang it.
So now,
I'm out tonight.
When the Ducks win, they'll move into the BCS playoff.
Yeah.
Give me your four teams.
I think Florida State's soft, and I think you know how it goes. Like there's all this speculation right when there's like, you know, you have the two top teams like Georgia wins. They're there. If Bama wins, it's going to get weird.
If Texas wins, I think Texas could. If Bama loses to Georgia and Texas wins, I think Texas could be the fourth team.
I agree with you.
I think Ducks go to 3.
I think what they start to look at is, especially if Bo Nix plays well, like they tend to opt towards like the quarterback and the assurance that it's going to be a good game. Like they're not going to put someone like, that's why I say FSU. Without Travis, it's kind of like we might not have seen as much from that quarterback that we need to see.
Yeah.
If they went out, you probably have to put them in.
Who, Florida State?
Yeah.
I think it depends on how bad Oregon beats Washington and what Florida State does in their next game.
That's true. And I think I believe
Florida State could lose to Louisville, by the way.
It very well could. And ACC is so soft. It is soft.
Even if it's a close game and Florida State wins, I still think the Ducks jump them.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I absolutely. If the Ducks win, they're in. Like, I think the committee likes the Ducks.
Yeah.
Like, they want to put the Ducks. There's Bo Nix, there's Heisman, there's Nike backing, there's following. You got a West Coast team, and so forth. I don't think the committee likes UW. I think they're better. They want them to lose.
Are you on the committee?
It should be. I'd have an algorithm up there for them to go by.
The winner of this game, Pac-12, will win the Heisman. Bo Nix, Ducks win. Bo's Heisman. Penix, Huskies win.
No.
Penix is Heisman. In the last year of the Pac-12 will get a team in the BCS, and they will get a Heisman winner. Thank you, Larry Scott.
That'd be Larry Scott. We called that.
Yeah.
Demise. The absolute demise. I should be a character witness for the demise of the Pac-12.
Should we wrap this
All
bad
right.
boy up?
Let's do it.
All right, so the picks here, if you're listening at home, both of us agree that the Cowboys will win on Thursday night. We have the Chargers, we have the Colts, we have the Lions. We're split. I'm going Broncos, Ben's going Texans. We both agree the Falcons will beat the sorry Jets. I'm going Rams.
Flacco.
Really, Ben's
I'm
got
going to get a
Browns with
Flacco
Flacco.
Browns jersey.
You should. You can get it on sale. There's probably one left. Anyway, and the Niners in the rematch game. Chiefs over the Packers. Jaguars over
We didn't do
Browning.
points. Did we do points? 42.
Yeah, sure. 42. That wraps it up. Thank you for listening to us. We are live every week. NoFilter.net, Caffeine TV. You'll see our clips throughout the week. On social media at Big Ben K Winn _ at Big Ben K Winn _ TikTok, Threads, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere.
Just
download, listen, subscribe. If you're more of an audio podcast person, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, we're everywhere. I'm K Winn. He's Big Ben.
Play us on your Alexa. Alexa, play Big Ben K Winn. Boom. Brick does that every time I go over to his house. He thinks it's awesome.
Love it.
Love it. Boom.
Boom.